are only going to... You're only going to see this version, but I was talking for about 4 minutes before realizing that my mic was having problem. Like, I wasn't plugged in, I don't think. So that was a thing. I come to you belatedly. I've actually been having a little bit of trouble with Steam tonight. Normally I can load the game in directly. So like for right now I'm not able to access the library screen for some reason. And normally I can fix that by just right-clicking on the Steam icon and bringing up one of the most recent games that I've played. And of course, because I have usually 3 broadcasts a week, and they'll usually be Steam games, it's near certain that Age of Wonders Planetfall or whatever I was playing on the Monday before will be inside that list. But silly me, I actually got some gaming in on the Paradox front. And I do apologize to those of you who are watching on the VOD, because I know it's less likely that you are here for me. On the other hand, I also know nobody really watches me for my stellar gameplay. But this does give people a chance to come into the stream for me to get my disclaimers out of the way. And then more importantly, especially when I have a false start like last one, to sort of get the word out a little bit. So sorry about that. I wish I had a better way of managing that, but I am a Twitch stream first, and then when... usually if you don't see... So there's one of 2 things that happens. Every once in a while I screw up and I don't put the stream little tag at the top of the video, or at the front of the video. I normally do that, and the ones that don't have that are sort of either designed to be VOD-style content or otherwise were prepared for rebroadcast. So, and I don't do as much YouTube stuff as I would like. That's going to be changing soon. Anyways, I watched Band of Brothers, the second episode. Never seen it before, but I like Damian Lewis in Billions, and I decided to finally check it out. So I played Company of Heroes 2, and I actually, on the Paradox note, I finally got through a playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4 where I sort of felt like I had a handle on what I was doing. I played France, and we were not overrun by Germany. I was not overrun by Germany through a really cheesy method. I was not allied with Britain, and so when they guaranteed Poland, I was not drug into World War II, and even though Germany got around Maginot, they did not actually declare war on me, so I waited until I was good and ready, and then while they were busy fighting the Soviets, we barreled across Maginot and took them out. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. What else did I play? Did some World of Horror, but that was on stream, so you all saw that. There's another thing that I played really recently that was really good. Anyways, there was one thing that I didn't care so much for. I'm trying to get back into Ark, but I find that one, I feel like the progression doesn't move fast enough at a certain point. So like I make my first bow, and then I run around and like I skin some animals, and I'm like, okay, I've kind of seen what I need to see here. And it's weird because I do like Terraria. And I understand Ark is supposed to be quite good, but it's not quite got its hooks into me. Maybe I'll try like Subnautica or something like that. Anyways, I do need to be very conscious about the time that I finish the stream. Now again, I've had that false start, so this might be a slightly shorter stream, but I'll do my best to keep it through. And part of the reason for this, I do have work in the morning, but I also have to record the next Morrowind episode. Hearts of Iron 4 took up a lot more time than I was expecting. And I've been struggling with Steam to try and get Planetfall up. I opened it in the program files, so hopefully that won't cause too many problems. And the one thing I wanted to get out of the way before we jump in, that's to say this key, both Age of Wonders Planetfall and the Revelations DLC, were given for promotional purposes. So again, I'm very happy that Paradox and Triumph reach out to someone who isn't necessarily the largest streamer and is able to let me cover the game. But it is something that needs to be disclosed, even though there isn't money changing hands. This is something that you should know because obviously people do sort of rely on the, you know, the quote unquote genuine, I hate the term influencer, but basically, I don't want the fact that because I'm talking about silly non-directly game related things, I don't want that to suddenly translate into you know, into something where somebody winds up making a purchase that they otherwise wouldn't have. But it is also fair to say I did get that key quite some time ago, and I am having a very good time with Age of Wonders Planetfall. So I might have been given a key for promotional purposes, but I am definitely having a good time. I really want that Cosmite, but I'm obviously not going to be getting it. Anyways, yes. Well, I do need to disclose that I certainly don't mean to. I certainly don't mean to imply that I wouldn't be playing it without the. Well, I mean, possibly I may have put it a little bit lower on the to play list, but I'm certainly having a good time, and it's been a while since we got that key. So the statute of limitations, I think, is passed, and we're having a good time with our Dvar. So we have taken out the assembly. One side effect is we do have a very unhappy city, presumably because they have just been conquered. Let's see. Oh no, it's because they're next to volcanic. So, but we're working on that. So in 2 turns we'll have our recreational dome. So we'll be back into positive morale, and then we will also negate the effects of volcanic, which is from, I guess, this territory? Oh, that's right. They reworked how this goes. Yes, here we go. All right. Actually, I need a minute to see where we're at in terms of goals. So, okay. So, Inesis Leo, claim Chimera Glacialis, Cosmite shipments recover. Right. That's why we went to the to Carminia's palace, resolve the Zalezo Razvet conflict, complete one of these objectives. Vladny Razvet defeated, or an alliance has been reached. I thought we already got the alliance, but locate the lost shipment. That's in the Cloudbreaker Mountains. An unexpected ally. That's coming up. Oh, that's right. We're also looking at the lost brother. Okay. So I think what I was going to do was to try and replenish some of my my forces. So it looks like we needed a new foreman for my main stack. I've got my my spare. They don't have anything yet, so I think they're heading back home. I think this trencher is for my son. Yes. Of course, given the Autonom Ambassador, it might make sense for us just to take 1,000,000,001 bulwarks. And we need to completely kit out our new recruit. Okay. That'll probably be my next. Well, Cloudbreakers are really close. Okay. I'm gonna keep them where they are. We'll advance the turn. Okay, so these guys can head towards the base. Ah, yes. Alright, so now I need to make some decisions in terms of what I want to do with my pure. Maybe I'll just give these guys the purifiers, and instead we will combine. This will kind of be the new stack of characters. Alright, so for my commander, I'm actually going to send him directly to the Cloudbreaker Mountains. I believe the Dvar get a movement bonus over mountains. So, or maybe not a bonus, but like they're not as heavily affected by movement penalties. Alright, prospecting. I mean, at this point, if I can, I want to have a prospector running each each turn just to get the goodies. This is not the most efficient movement that I could be doing, but at this point I just want to claim what I can. Alright, so Corvin is available. I thought that they were going to be hanging out for a little bit longer, so we'll also move them to the Cloud Breakers. And again, I was originally going to go on this quest line, but this is so close that we don't have many options. I think one of the reasons why I wanted to hold that stack there as well was because of the morale or the happiness slots, but this isn't Civilization. Having a unit in that place won't accomplish anything. Also, I forgot that I do have to clear out some unwanted, so we want to recover the Stadium Arcadium. That would have been particularly good to do because then we wouldn't have needed to worry about the happiness buildings, but we're going to have that built in time, so there's no point in diverting my guys from a quest. These guys, I think it was extra industry, yeah. And then I feel like there was a science build. Oh yeah, that's right, we haven't expanded to the science building yet. So, are we really at the end of the turn? I guess it's a calm start. Oh, I remember. I wanted to see if I could get that alliance. May our people leave the Dark Age behind us and prosper together. Alright, propose an alliance. That's in one turn. Okay. So we will avoid...
Objective completed.
Nope. We'll avoid anything with the Syndicate until we've secured our relationship with our Dvar cousins. Autonom Emotional Matrix Status Achievement, Love Machine, completed. Corvin Jaleo, worthy of love. Autonom Love Commander. Autonom Send Commander a gift. So we got 10 relations with the Autonom, 12 influence, 61 industry, and 15 energy for our troubles there.
Why do pilots use ramming only when their ships are completely crippled? There's nothing heroic in suicide. That's when I realized, why not utilize the inertia of a vehicle's mass as the primary weapon? Prepare for ramming speed! Yakov Yokanik, Ramjet Guild Director.
It's pretty fantastic. Alright, the problem is I had a whole bunch of reasoning for the path that I was going to go down. And you better believe I don't remember what it was. So I've got better armor. Was I really just going to go straight on to Noble Division? I feel like I was. But 10 turns compared to the other options? Let's maybe get a closer look at what I'm giving up. Okay, so the assembly is no longer the top worry. So electrified ammunition may be on the menu. I don't see any point in building dreadnoughts because there's so little water on this planet. Enhanced payloads would be to improve my explosive weapons, which we don't have too many of. Phoenix Op are both strategic, right? Yes. So not too exciting on its own. Thermal targeting ray definitely seems like something I can make use of. So biosphere subjugation, electromagnetic utilization, and Dvar Mark IV upgrades are the most appealing. I think for the time being I will run with biosphere subjugation. Alright, an assembly unit wants to join us. Tess 4M wants to join you. Let's take a look at what we've got here. So they do arc damage, reconstructed demon, target dead mechanical or cyborg unit to send a demon that will reconstruct the scrap into a reconstructed demon unit. Arc grenade, arc resistance, overwatch, resurgence, scavenge, spare, restore themselves with parts taken from fallen foes, healing them for 6 after each battle low. Okay, see, I've never done request another hero before, so let's see what happens there. Let's make...
Production ready.
Okay, this is good news. We balanced out. Let's go. Oh, that's right. I wasn't going to switch them to food because I wanted my main facilities to go first.
Production ready.
Okay, that's working as intended. I probably won't actually finish this path, but we'll run with that for now.
Production ready.
Alright, so another trencher, which we will bring into this stack.
Production ready.
Okay, so I can move the prospector to explore new areas, or, yeah, I'm going to focus on going east for a little while. These guys, oh, hello. Spore cloud. Hey, that's more helpful. All right. So what I'm really doing here is just trying to find good prospecting targets. This I can do right away.
Happiness event in colony.
Due to happiness of your population, there is a boost in energy income. Colony receives 50 energy. I don't know if that's a lump sum or if that's what the 50... Actually, it'll probably tell me colony income... Maybe it is a lump sum. I don't know. We'll have to see. Alright. We're still waiting on growth. But I do want to try and bring Volodny into the fold. So, propose what? Oh, we can. We'll also go for share intelligence. Yeah, we'll run with that. We changed our relationship too recently. We can talk again at a later time. Alright. So we move on to the objective. I kind of don't need to bring 2 units for this. I don't think there are any story missions that involve more than 1 unit, but this might be the first. Who knows? Is he supposed to be in there? Maybe they're just gonna try and take the item crate. Autonom faction demand. Tribute required. Entity known as Corvin Gelezo must make an offering to the Autonom. If accepted, relations maintained. Well, we do just basically eat up the energy we got as a bonus, but that wasn't money that we were expecting to have, so I might as well just accept the demand. And we will move through the mountains. Alright.
If you want to improve your capabilities, you don't just set a goal, you must also monitor it. Only by carefully watching your progression, guarding against backsliding, can you achieve solid success. Tony Rubio Strong, Manpower and Machine Motivational Consulting.
So I should have specified, I actually have half of my dinner sitting beside me because I did want to get the stream going. Okay, we did area surveillance so I could do operational effectiveness. I would, of course, love to do production development, but the fact of the matter is I'm not actually going to be doing an upgrade like that for a while, so getting the extra points, to my mind, is worth it. I'm going to do the Betterment Woodland. There's a side of me that wants to try... Well, no, you know what? I'm going to go for... Ah! I was scared that was going to happen. Oh, okay. Well, it looks like they're also blocking it. They might actually come and attack this guy. That's trouble if so. So again, not enough. Okay, well, so it looks like all of my. Or I can ask these guys to move though.
Production ready.
Okay, that was a bit of a shame, just because I probably could have been doing better things with that production. For instance, we've only got 2 trenchers. Unacceptable. So we'll work either a foreman or a purifier. I guess, well, I could also build a fancy new ramjet. For now, I'm going to go with the vanilla. We'll add a foreman, and we'll put these guys right up to the top.
Production ready.
All right.
Happiness event in colony.
I don't mind building the infrastructure on those kinds of turns, just because obviously if I'm not monitoring my cities that closely, it means that I'm clearly not going to be missing out on the alternative, but I should be keeping a little bit of a closer eye on things. Alright, we'll put Junior beside... Oh, seismic scans indicate there is indeed a structure deep underneath the ground. That must be the vault. There seems to be no way in. It is completely isolated. We should employ our newly acquired Earth Crusher to break open a path down to this vault.
Objective completed.
Closer inspection revealed that the source is buried deep beneath the Earth. Acquire an Earth Crusher in order to crack the sector and reach the treasure below. The Rasovit must have brought one along for their excavation efforts. Move an Earth Crusher into the center hex of the sector to use the Earth Crack strategic operation. Okay, so I'm gonna get the boss man to move. Oop. Success. Your proposal is very welcome. We think alike. Improving our diplomatic state was the right thing to do. Corvin Gelenzo, at long last the rift between our consortia is mended. The Razovet will stand at your side once more. In memory of Alexandra, we will work together to better the future of Aldevar. Corvin Gelenzo, I heard that you needed an Earth Crusher. In light of our reconciliation, I will lend you the Old Thane, one of the finest Earth Crushers in the Rasovit Consortium's arsenal. Bring her back in one piece.
Objective completed.
All right. That was pretty straightforward, and I guess now I get to have a lot of fun with this this big fancy new toy. Blurring canisters to the arsenal. All right, so it looks like we've got another another assembly that wants to join. I'm kind of tempted to go for this one, but we don't have the money for it right now, so I think I'm gonna have to sit on this for a bit.
Operations available for priming.
Do I... There's definitely some colonies I want to ramp up the production on, so... Kildov... XR... B8... Again, I think we'll focus on colonies I founded first, but yes, the answer is I do... obviously we spend energy for that, but that's something I'm willing to do because it gives me the extra industry. Alright, let's see if I can convince these guys to move. Would you be able to grant us access to this location? We are happy to extend you this favor, Corvin Gelenzo. That's right, Zelezo. Okay, we've got the reward, but really I just want to prospect. These guys, okay, well fortunately it didn't come kill me, so of course we'll tempt fate and walk right by them. Volodny took out, I think, Marauders? Yes. Okay, lots of that.
Production ready.
Okay, this is the old assembly capital. We've got assembly line units are produced with less upkeep, +1 energy per colonist. I'm probably more inclined for the optimization control. So move that up the ranking. Again, the defense structures are nice, but they're definitely not high priorities.
Production ready. Production ready.
Okay, so these guys can annex their first sector. I think this makes the most sense. It combined... I mean, again, obviously I'd love to get the Cosmite, but... do you want to build on the claimed sector? The sector has already been claimed. Building here causes other commanders to gain a casus belli against you, making it easier for them to declare war on you. Independent factions may demand that you ignore their claims. So yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have them... you know, not be mad, but I'm not too worried about angering the Syndicate. I think we're also reasonably well situated as far as the relationship is concerned, so I'll try an alliance just in case. Fortunately, I must decline your proposal as it does not align with my plans, so... Screw that. Worth a shot. Alright, so Junior, we're gonna go get... we're gonna send on a cleanup mission. These good folks, I think we're gonna put in the capital. There's a side of me that wants to put them in Kildov just because they are running around in my... the Syndicate's running around in my territory right now, so if they want to cause trouble, they will be able to, but... I'll settle for recapturing my... my territory in the worst case. We're not quite ready to take them on one-on-one.
Just envision a better life where all the tasks you hate are automated. We don't wish to replace you with a robot. Once it's trained, you'll thank us for eliminating inefficiencies. Dean Nupar, efficiency expert.
Alright, so we're back to social research again. I'm not really inclined for aquatic deployment because even though it's 2 turns to wait for now, I don't really have any benefit from it. There might be an argument for covert infiltration so that I can complete the task of doing, stealing energy. Or hang on, I think we might already have that. Really though, I should probably either go for the Phoenix Dawn protocols for the extra doctrine. Or production deployment. Actually, I'm going to do Phoenix Dawn just because that gives me an immediate benefit, whereas production development won't quite be ready for a while.
Only Promethean devotees are qualified to protect innocent lives from toxic hazards and fiery chemical reactions. Metal fires differ from chemical fires. We understand which disasters should be incinerated, extinguished, or allowed to just burn out. Fire Chief Scholus Ernest.
Right, sorry for all the creaking noises. It's my chair. All right. So, back to the same question as before. I either need to make a big move with something like the Noble Division or the Aegis Tank Corps, or I need to come up with some mods that I really want. So, the Advanced Aegis Shielding, Pyrex Absorption Panel. When standing in thermal hazards, this unit deals plus 20% damage and heals for plus 12 health at the start of the turn. I really need to pay much closer attention to what Promethean does. That is pretty spectacular. I feel a lot better with some of these decisions if I knew what I was up against. So let's see what the bad guys are packing. They've got psionic resistance. They do arc damage, which is something I want to be a little conscious about. Immune to negative morale effects. 1 level of stagger resistance. These guys do flame. There isn't really any weakness. Looks like they are more Oh, no. So the average unit is shielded, not armor. Okay. We're not ready for... not ready to hire this hero yet. Kildov, right. We want you... Either I go hard on food and we really focus on expanding out. Yeah, you know what? I'm not crazy about the fact that I'm doing this, but I am going to go hard on the food so that we can expand out and then realign ourselves accordingly. All right, to the mountains. Okay, nice haul there. I know we're not going to be able to prospect in their capital, so we'll just move on. I did not realize that I just automatically get a forward base there, but that's very welcome.
Sector annexed.
Okay.
Production ready.
This is good news. We're already got the foreman on the way, so not much for me to do there.
Production ready. Happiness event in colony. Happiness event in colony.
Okay, all around not bad. And again, we want to start clearing out some of the riffraff in the neighborhood, so... Oh, hey, sorry. Is it, Game Militia, is this campaign or regular game? It is the campaign. Sorry, I was miles away. And Hidden Citizen, anything new with Stellaris? The next DLC, I believe, comes out on the 16th. If I'm not mistaken. It's called Federations, and that's all that I know about it. I'm sorry, guys. I was dealing with a bit of an empty chat for a little while. I hope your messages weren't waiting that long. Actually, I might be able to see. No, it doesn't give me timestamps. Sorry about that. Hopefully I didn't lose most of you. Let's get back into the game. Okay, good. But yeah, this is the campaign. It's first time playing the campaign. Having a great time with it, by the way. Like, so again, the disclosures about the promotional key aside, like I'm used to playing single player. I mean, some single player campaigns. Single player campaigns, some strategy games, they wind up being sort of an afterthought. Some of them, you know, they put the time in, but again, you sort of feel like it's like, okay, but then the main thing is like really the multiplayer and whatnot. This one actually really does seem to be taking advantage of some features of what single player campaign, like some features that you would normally expect of something that's single player oriented. So it seems like you have some decisions that you make earlier on that come back to affect the campaign a little bit later. Like, they definitely put a lot of effort into this. Hidden Citizen, I am there every once in a while. I tend to participate a lot more when I host people, and I've noticed at least when I've seen them online, I'm streaming. It might just be bad timing on my part. I don't remember if it was you or somebody else, but like I've come in with my resubs and whatnot. So there's my, where am I? What can I do? Every once in a while, I do show up to people's channels. But yeah, sorry if you're missing me. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the campaign for Age of Wonders Planetfall. I also kind of like, it's actually quite open-ended, so you don't necessarily have to do all of the objectives you don't necessarily have to do all of the objectives to get through it. Although you definitely learn a little bit more about the world and its interesting inhabitants. So, sorry, I kind of tripped over myself on that. Okay, so it's said that this is ready for deployment. I guess this means... Huh. Already being planned. Okay, I'll give it one more turn. I hope that doesn't mean that I only get one at a time, because that makes that a lot less strong. Okay, military research. Right, so I got distracted. I want to protect myself from Arc. And if there's something that's good against shields, I want to take advantage of it, but I don't think I have a good answer to that. So let's do enhanced payloads, just because that lets me kick the can down the road a little bit. Okay, here we go. The factory overdrive is ready to go. Okay, so we're on our way to complete the other story mission. Again, as much as I'd like to hire this guy, I need the money for something else. Actually, it looks like this thing's going to arrive just in time for me to get the money. We're going to get and clear out the riffraff when we can. Let's prospect where we can. And we still need to wait for the foreman. Alright, I'd like to look at new lands, but I might as well get the prospecting in where I can. Okay, XR B8. Now, the first place that I would normally claim would be right here, but that's for the Red Core facility. So in this case, we will take the Stadium. Yeah, Stadium Arcadium seems to be the right call. Oh, or Carminia's Blessing Palace. So there's an outside chance that Banadron might actually be able to reach out to that Cosmite. So I'm going to hold off on that for now. I think I am going to annex the Blessing Palace. Okay, factory overdrive. We'll put that on Kildov first. So, again, factories at peak production output. Production is increased at the cost of colonists' happiness. So 30 industry at the cost of 4 morale, but we're doing quite well for morale. So
Incoming communication.
Your reputation exceeds you, Corvin Gelezo. I hope we can become allies one day. Why wait? Your proposal is very welcome. We think alike. Improving our diplomatic state was the right thing to do. Greetings, Master Zelenzo. I have been impressed by the valor of your forces at the ritual site, and you prevailed despite the odds. I believe there is much we could learn from one another, so I offer my service to you. Let me fight alongside you. Together we will show these redeemers what happens to those that involve themselves with the void. Chimera Glacialis is ours. None can question that now. Not even the Adamant Council will be able to overlook such an achievement. Every bit of ore we mine on this world will bring this Zelenzo closer to their rightful place among the Adamant. Father, I took the liberty of sending out prospectors to investigate the Cosmite Vault. It seems the Redeemers got to it first. Its contents are almost entirely destroyed. Perhaps this vault was their target all along? They sought redemption. I think we might have just finished the mission here. The destruction of the vault must have been part of the price that they were asked to pay. But to whom? Regardless, it is out of our hands now. We should just focus on our mining operations and await the Council's judgment. Huh! While some empires lie in ruin, we dominate the world under the banners of newly formed alliances, proving that strong diplomatic bonds can be more powerful than the largest of armies. In trust and unity, we march forward to a better tomorrow. Now, I'm sorry to do this. I'm actually going to reload the... mission because I would actually like to see some of the story elements. Hopefully we don't lose too much progress. I mean, we got this thing in the bag. I'm not going to drag my feet on it, but... I do... Excuse me. I do kind of want to see where this goes. Okay, so we're going to wait on that for the reasons we said before. We're not that far behind.
Incoming communication.
I believe there's still bad guys protecting that, so...
Production ready.
Alright, that's welcome. Let's just see... You know, I suppose I can do agriculture and help. Actually, yeah, I do want to grow my colonies as quickly as I can. I think it'll be a moot point because we're clearly ahead of the game. I mean, we can win whenever we want. Okay, but like I said, I do want to see some of the story stuff. So we'll carry on. So, Hidden Citizen, obviously you're asking about Stellaris. What do you think of Planetfall? I don't remember if I've ever asked you this before. They're two very different games, obviously, but I enjoy both. So I didn't prime another operation just so I can just because I want to make sure that I have enough to mine. Oh, looks like the Earthbreaker's a bit late.
Bombs are too predictable. All they do is blow stuff up, which I admit is great. But what if they were more surprising? Sir Dunkel Tug, Red Devar Bomb Company.
Oh, I quite like it. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I've had a great time with it, so I hope you get a chance to give it a shot. Okay, explosive attacks now deal thermal damage and have a 12 heat strength to apply burning. Cannot be combined with electrical, grants an additional 20% damage. If I had a more reliable way of painting the ground with fire, I'd really want to take the advanced Aegis shielding. For now, though, let's go... bypass 3 shields. Yep, we're going to do electromagnetic utilizer so we can do the kinetic forks manipulation. Again, not quite ready to hire you yet. Okay. Next turn we get to the event. You there! Stay your weapons! You must be Mordecai. My eye of House Antares bids you to return to your house. My sister can wait. The heretics calling themselves Redeemers are enacting vile rituals nearby. I cannot allow them to desecrate this world any longer. The Abyss's grip on this place tightens with every passing minute. I've already suffered losses, and my prospects were looking grim. But with your forces at our side, we may be able to strike them down. The Redeemers are a threat to us all as well, Father. Disrupting this ritual could hinder their efforts greatly, not to mention secure friendly relations with House Antares. Mordecai and his army could prove useful, but perhaps we should send him back to his sister. What is your decision? Accept the assistance. My daughter speaks true, and there is wisdom in your words as well, Lord Antares. We accept your aids. I thought that was a son. I guess he said child. Excellent. Let us not delay any longer. We await your signal. By the light of Antares, we will purge these abominations.
Objective completed.
This shouldn't be too hard to deal with. Disrupt the Psionum ritual. We found Mordecai. He seeks to disrupt this vile psionic ritual performed at the old cultist shrine. Sorry, this is just something an old cultist. I thought it was like the old cultist shrine. It's like, that sounds like a pub. If we help him, that will surely secure friendly relations with the Syndicate of House Antares. Okay. So let's move him into the area. Okay, that's exciting, but I'm not quite ready for that yet. Let's just see what we're up against. So we've got the Mater, so he's a Soul Seeker, Cage of Suffering, Lure of the Dark. Okay, so arc resistant, bunch of psionic damage, and these things freak me out. These things basically run in and blow up, so it's not going to be a piece of cake, but we should be able to handle them. I'm actually quite okay with them running after Mordecai, because as long as I can keep him alive in the battle... Oh, no, it looks like they are moving towards my guys. Okay. So, I actually want to move these units up first. Okay, so they're in range, so first things first. Let's give them... Giving it boosted, granting fast movements, and increasing damage by 20%. Oh, I hope I don't block my bulwark. I am going to block my bulwark. Nope, but we can still get in range. It's not a great shot. It worked. I think I'll drop the repair drone now. Okay, now unfortunately my guys don't seem to have any... Oh, that's because it's a foreman, you idiot. Alright, so they're not going to be able to encourage. Alright, so I wanted the trenchers. I want to basically be able to do whatever damage I could at the start, so we'll... drop the trench now. I am a little more clustered than I would normally like to be. But, there's one. So again, the hope would have been that I could, Oh, good. Well, hopefully this has motivated you to play it then. Hidden Citizen. All right, Mordecai has got the Inferno Fit. Oh god, these are great. And an Ego Bomb. So I want to be careful about these guys because again they can blow up. So make a slightly cautious move. So one of the reasons I'm doing this is if they want to attack me, they're gonna have to move into the crossfire with the trenchers. So let's see what they decide to do. Well, they want me. They definitely do some nasty damage.
Operations ready.
This is a tricky one, right? I think I want to prioritize them, but well, first thing we gotta take on. I gotta take the opportunity to take pieces
Enemy
off the.
down.
Oh crap! I forgot. I think I just created a bigger problem. Exterminatus. Gives him something to think about. Okay, so obviously I can take that thing out right away, but I don't want to.
Enemy down.
Hammer time. Okay. Looks like I can't reach my comrade. Oh. That was the foreman. Alright. That really complicates things then. I thought that was the repair drone. Okay, so... Okay, so now I gotta figure out what the hell I'm doing with these guys. I think at this point I'm gonna take my lumps. We'll do what damage we can at the guys who can self-destruct. Actually, you know what? My foreman might, my baron might contribute something here. Just need a little chip damage. You have betrayed your people. Okay, so the question is, do I want to risk the spectacular damage I'm gonna face? No. Because I've got broken mind, so it's very unlikely that I'm actually going to do what's required.
Unit under enemy
Oh,
control.
that's bad luck. Okay. First things first, so we'll drop a repair on the foreman. These guys... Ah. These guys are mind controlled.
Enemy killed.
Okay, good news there. These guys are going to heal my Syndicate buddy. Syndicate buddy's not actually going to be able to do anything directly. In fact, the Ego Bomb's not really going to help that much here, but it does do some AoE, does the AoE damage to the person I don't want to hurt, so it's useless to me. So we will work with the priorities we've got. I can get a slightly better shot if I move in closer, so we'll... Well, I say slightly better, but it counts as flanked, so...
Enemy eliminated.
I was scared that was going to happen.
Enemy annihilated.
Now, what I'm slightly curious about is whether or not these guys... Okay, these guys do not count as being mind-controlled anymore, so...
Enemy killed.
So that Pyrex actually didn't do anything for me, but we got to finish this off in style. Let's get Mordecai to finish his mission.
Enemy
Fists
annihilated.
of Fury.
Victory.
All right, let me just take a quick second here. There's somebody who is probably staying quiet in chat for a reason, but if you can hear me, happy to see you hanging out, and I hope you're doing well. All right, disrupt the Sinumbra ritual. Okay, so I actually need to go into the... It's good to see you're a Dvar of your word. My brother has returned to me and speaks highly of your valor. I too shall keep my word. We shall direct our efforts towards stopping this Redeemer cult. Too late.
Completed.
All right. That was a fun one.
Operations available for priming.
So what are we looking at here? So there was a... Was it an unexpected... Oh, okay, I get it now. So that's the name of the quest line. So we're basically done. I do want to see what the dig site shows, but cleaning out the riffraff. This actually feels like a relatively brief mission. That, or I'm just a little more efficient at getting through them now. So we'll prospect. I mean, I say efficient. I did pull away from a win to see how the story went, but that was worth it. That was a fun enough time.
Production ready.
Okay, so here I want to clear out the bikes.
Production ready.
Killed off. Right, they're generating what I want them to be generating.
Happiness event in colony.
Okay, that's all good. Oop. You need to rethink this relation of ours, Corvin Zalezo. I can no longer maintain our current diplomatic state because you have wronged me in the past. You are building too close to me. This defensive pact was clearly not a good idea. Remember that I can crush your empire anytime I feel like it. Well, at least I can't win by mistake anymore. Alright, so Earthcrack for 125. We can still afford a new hero, so we'll recruit this guy.
The Pure should not feel threatened or afraid of the Promethean division. It is well trained and follows strict protocols without error. This should be a great comfort to all who do not harbor corruption within. They should fear the flame. Khonsu, the Burning Emperor.
Yeah, any statement that begins with "the pure don't need to be afraid of" is the sort of thing you don't want to hear the guy holding a flamethrower saying. Sorry guys, I still need to pick away at dinner, so this is going to be a little crunchy. I'm going to try and go away from the mic though.
I was inspired reading research on a maglev train accident in Star Union Station. The E&M braking failed, launching the train through 3 solid barriers before stopping. Naturally, I thought the same powers could be used in a weapon. Clint Sutton, Vanguard High Energy Operations.
Okay, like I said, I was kicking the can down the road. I think probably kinetic force manipulation is going to be what I go for anyway, just because it does help me with shields, which is the biggest defensive sort of style that my most likely enemy has. Let it be known to all, Corvin Zelezo ignored all claims on sectors. We abhor your actions. Consider yourself warned. Next time, I may not be so forgiving. Yeah, we've got the best military. So it was denounced for ignore. Okay, cool. So it actually, so people, if people complain about it, that's what makes your status fall. Oh, hello. You're not on our list, but we can schedule you for an appointment in about 3 months, unless it was something urgent. You called me. Okay. Again, we're gonna prospect till we can prospect no more. Definitely mechanically, the Dvar have been really fun to play with. This prospecting has been sort of neat. The units definitely have a certain charm to them as well. I need one more sector for these guys, which we may already have, actually. Yes, so this was the one with the Sadium Arcadium, so we will annex it. Okay, so that changes things a little bit in terms of what my development's going to be. So now the priority is no longer... No, the priority is no longer going to be about building food. So that's going to involve dismantling the central biofarm. I don't have something to build yet, so then we're also going to say... Yeah, I'm also going to dismantle this in favor of probably production. I know there isn't the same bonus, so I don't think you need to have a... Oh, yeah, grants an additional when in production exploitation. So yeah, we are going to switch this to production as well, so...
Production ready.
So if I want, I can build a shielding laboratory. Does it make sense for me to do so?
Operations available.
There's nothing else for me to do there, right? So...
Production
I also switched that colony to share, and that's just so that I can get everybody up to speed.
Production ready.
Okay.
Happiness event in colony.
Shrine, despite the Star Union's ban on psionics and persecution of its practitioners, shrines like this can be found defiantly hidden all over the Star Union's territories. Grants 10 research and 10 energy to the colony it is linked to. Units in the linked colony gain +2 psionic resistance. Enter this location to fight its inhabitants. Only the army standing on top of the structure. Enter. Adjacent armies will not participate in this combat. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I want to see what the rewards are. All right, looks like it is... Ooh, actually, this is going to be tough because of the subjugator. So the initiate, I believe... I thought the initiate might turn into... Okay, guess not. What about the Malictor? Mental Fortress, fueled by servitude. It doesn't seem to indicate when I die, or when they die, they bring up evil things, but these guys do extra damage for the indentured being in the area. The indentured do arc damage, which makes them a threat to my bulwark, so there's a very good argument for me to try and take out the indentured first. Anyways, it says low risk battle. I'd say we're about evenly matched, so I definitely want to take to the field. And I'm also very curious what we get for being in here. This is one where I'd normally be willing to spend some money on a bomb, but I'm probably not going to because we're short, like we're at 46. So, these guys are set up for Overwatch. Alright, so it doesn't seem to make sense to me. It doesn't seem to make sense to... Actually, you know what? I'm willing to set up my trenchers, but at this point, I think just turtling up is how I want to play this. Does mean the subjugator gets its pick of mind control. But I think I'm going to be able to live with that risk. Yeah, honestly,
Operations available.
okay, looks like they're being a bit cautious. All right, so they're not going to hand themselves to me on a silver platter. That's fair. That does, however, mean that I am going to have some trouble. No, we can make this work. So I think I'm going to go sort of right and center for this plan. And that's partly because this guy committed to to this area here. Not quite ready to supercharge the bulwark yet, but we're getting close. Hello, the Eyes of Sin. I wasn't expecting to see you, but you better believe I'm very happy to see you. How are you doing? Did you get a nap in? You know what? I'm going to put the foreman in the trench. Again, I've kind of crowded things a little too much over here, but I'll work with it. Okay. Nice. I didn't know you lived near a naval base. Sorry to hear about it. I did not know that bounced. Alright, so we just got a bunch of debuffs. Okay, I want to make sure that my bulwark is safe. Well, as safe as can be. Damn it. I was hopeful. Alright. So what I want to do here, I do need to clear out some space for my guys. Actually, you know what? I can afford to do it this time because this always reduces my movements down to 1. And I don't think we'll be able to take this guy out, but we're going to be able to do some serious damage on him. And in addition, we're going to be healing in these spots. So, oh, this will be great, actually. Oh, shield bash doesn't do what I wanted. It's better to get these guys taken out
Enemy eliminated.
because that denies this guy some damage. Okay, that could have been better overall, but... And there's a slight chance that we lose the bulwark this turn, which is going to be really sad. But we've done what we can to try and protect it. Okay. Ah. I did not realize that they could stagger. Okay, so first things first.
Enemy destroyed.
So even though I'm still in the way, I can live with that. Let's get you with some nanite repairs. Okay, so bulwark's back. There's a chance that we... yeah. So I believe that's due to the broken mind. Okay, so I am interested to see whether or not Corvin can do anything. You know what? I can work with this. I don't know if this counts as a flank or not. This is a bit risky given that it puts him in range of the subjugator, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. We can aim at the subjugator, so at the very least we can inflict a bleed. This guy less so. Oh, no, he's close enough, so... Now again, we are in danger of mind control here, but I do want to try and do whatever damage I can per turn. Resisted. Okay, so they're disabled for 1 turn, but that's not as bad as what could have happened to them. Try and get the foreman to finish. Oh, foreman won't finish the job. I might just let him bleed out. I'm gonna have to make a decision about that. So these guys can't do anything. I'm gonna put them back in their fort just so they can heal up. These guys, I feel like the subjugator is the more scary of the problems to deal with. So, this guy has no offensive capabilities, but he can heal. Yeah, why not? Well, no, this guy's going to heal in his little hidey hole, so... I'm actually going to move... up. I think this is going to spawn an enemy, but...
Enemy killed.
Nope, I can shut up. Also get a free pistol shot on the subjugator.
Enemy down.
Alright, so whatever happens, like, I don't think there's anything he can do to one-shot my guys. So, he might be able to mind control them, but we'll... Hello! I did not know he had that ability. And I can't click on him to find out what that is. That is a terrifying ability.
Enemy down. Victory.
Okay. We got research and energy for that, just as it said I would. All right. So,
There's a way to do anything. There's also a smarter way to do anything. Trade secrets are often more about a well-trained workforce than a secret sauce.
Hey, you go,
Tony
Karen.
Rubio Strong, Manpower and Machine Motivational Consulting.
I had a rough night last night, and work wasn't terrible, but there's actually one good thing that happened to work, and then a bit of meh stuff, but that's work, I suppose. Overall, it could have been worse today. But I'm really enjoying Planetfall as usual. And obviously happy to see so many familiar and friendly faces. I know it's a little more quiet here than it normally is, but especially this Dvar. So I think the Dvar playthrough feels a little bit easier than some of these other ones. But I definitely feel like I've got a much stronger hand on the game on this particular playthrough than the others. Okay, river exploitation is tempting, as is botanical garden. See, I wanted to do colony no, I got to do colony infrastructure because I don't have anything else to build. Okay, Corvin is ready to be upgraded, although again, it's unlikely we will get the most out of it. Hardiness training. So, even though I gave him Juggernaut, I've never actually seen him run through obstacles. So... Quickly surges to another hex, dealing damage to all adjacent units when it lands. I feel like that's a very strong one to combine with my jetpack. So we'll go for one plasma surge and... Oh, hardiness training, +2 resist against status effect. That's especially for the whole army. I'm good with that. Okay, I get to clear the bugs out of the stadium. So, a couple of Mega Beetles and one Wild Shrike. How are things with you, Ika? Sorry, I forgot if I asked this before. I'm a little fuzzy. Okay. Don't let the toxic bird hit me. Oh, I should have had the turrets in here. Alright, can the purifier light the bird on fire this turn? No. Although we may be able to launch a plasma bomb. Also no. I do like that my purifiers can entrench, though. So I can get one movement forward. Oh, it looks like I do get the shot. Nice. Okay, these guys are pretty much always just going to run up front and drop a trench, especially because the trenches heal. And in this case, we're going to be going after the flying target. Normally, I wouldn't want to stack them on top of each other, especially because I believe these guys have an AoE effect. But again, in this case, I can do some damage to a high priority target. Trap. And against all odds, I can also bring the bulwark to bear on... well, it's a 1 in a million. So unfortunately he's going to be able to blow up his goop on all of us.
Operations available.
So I'll admit, that's actually more damage than I was expecting to have to put up with, but we should be able to see this through to the end. I will admit, I'm a little surprised I don't have a foreman. Oh, that's right, because it's the daughter.
Down.
Unfortunately, it does mean I'm not able to heal. Okay, this guy gets an overwatch because I'm in melee range, so let's soften him up a bit. Cleansed!
Our forces are victorious.
Gonna do some exercise while listening to your stream, then come back for actual watching for your breakfast. All right. Don't let me get away from your exercise. You should exercise while you're having your breakfast, and then just say, these things cancel each other out. All right, I'm really making a meal out of this, but yes, we will allow them to retreat. This is actually a feature I quite like. I believe this was in Age of Wonders 3, but basically instead of having to do every last battle, the game sort of says, okay, this is clearly something that you would win. If you want, you can let him go. Imperial submarine. Okay, I'm not quite ready to do anything with Brutus Wolf yet. As for the commander, well, we're already earth-cracking at this point, I would expect. So, I guess the commander can be working on clearing out the riffraff too, although I think we just finished that. Oh, no, looks like we've got... okay, the heavy weapons factory is currently occupied, so... I'd kind of prefer to have the commander up against the most likely threat, which would be the Syndicate. But I think we can make an exception. I'm going to get a little exploration in. And seeing as I have some spare cash, so we've got palatial propaganda networks. The Governance Palace is at the heart of the planetary communications network that we can use to spread propaganda across the globe, greatly increasing our international standing. Gain 200 trustworthiness and 200 relations with all races. Okay, that is kind of cool, but I don't really want to spend a policy on it. Phoenix colonization protocols. The Vault still holds the protocols for post-purge colonization. These could help with our colonization efforts in hazardous terrain. All of your colonies ignore economic penalties from hazards and volcanic. Thanks, but I've already got that under control. Phoenix armament protocol. Phoenix armament theory promotes efficiency above all else. Promethean units are 25% cheaper to build, and their upkeep costs are reduced by 25%. That I might actually go for. I believe we already have revised safety regulations. Native Displacement Act, we can't have a few unfortunates blocking our road to progress. The cost of moving independent armies is reduced by 30%. Thing is, I don't actually think I'm being blocked by any of those. So, I think I'm going to go for the Phoenix Armament Protocol, because I can actually see how that helps me. And I would do Factory Overdrive, but I guess I need to commit to the one before I do the other. So, Nairov has an unexploited sector. Well, we won't Oh, that's right, because I gotta make some decisions. Okay, so we're dismantling. Let's start with... So it's a flat bonus. Energy wouldn't be terrible, but then so wouldn't I think I'm going to go science on this one, although I might have to switch to energy at some point. Which, on that note, I'm going to have two industry already. Oh, hang on. Okay, so we're at 4 of 4 so I miscalculated. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll find 4 somewhere else here. Probably one of these. Okay, no, we can still take advantage of this. Okay, yeah, so science is fine. Then we'll dismantle the farms. Definitely want to do... No, not production. We can't do it for this sector. Oh, sorry, this is the sector upgrade. Okay, I'm going to have to rearrange the order.
Doctrine enacted.
Phoenix, okay, I've already got that. Unit cost can never be lowered to more than 75%. Unit upkeep can never be lowered more than 50.
Operations available for priming.
So at this point, we'll do another factory overdrive. Oops, sorry.
Sector annexed.
Oh, I'm saying I don't have anything to do when clearly I need to get rid of the riffraff in the area I just claimed. I should have gone here and I could have cleared that out this turn. Okay, let's go treasure hunting. Oh, I don't... That's right, I didn't build boats. Okay, with that in mind then, I do think I'm going to start building some colonization. Okay, so I know... Oh no, hang on. 1, 2... It's possible I might actually be able to incorporate this in my existing setup. I could have sworn we already told this to Earthcrack. Alright. I've never wanted to become famous. Thanks, though. Do any of you in chat want to become famous? Like, don't get me wrong, I'd like to be recognized for the... You know, the work that I do. Yeah, this is all kind of a formality at this point.
Production ready.
Sorry this is taking so long. I would have thought that we had already got the... Oh, there we go. The way to the vault is clear. Follow me and prepare for the worst. This place was clearly not meant to be uncovered and could contain additional measures for repelling intruders. Director Corvin Zelenzo, we've spotted assembly nearby. We should be on alert in case they try to ambush us. Your Earthcrusher's cracked the sector of its Cloudbreaker Mountains and has delivered its bounty. What?
Objective completed.
Making withdrawal. The vault has been opened and the extraction operation has begun. The vile assembly refused to let us claim our prize in peace and are gathering a strike force nearby. Secure the vault for the Zelenzo Dvar. Okay. That is very cool. So this thing, its ability apparently... Let me just double check that I've got this right. Tractor beam, crush and process, crush a target. Okay, no, this is... So the implication about what happened here, we just leveled the mountain range for resources, and I want to see... Oh my god! Oh, good lord. Okay. So lock in place at the center of a sector for 2 turns. You then crack the sector, granting you valuable resources by turning the sector into barren volcanic. Doesn't work on large mountain sectors. Yeah, thank you, Eyes of Sin. I just tend to ignore them, but this is fantastic. Of course I have to blow up another mountain. Alright, so my home bases are productive. Let's go for Banadron. Let me just double check. Yep, they're still happy.
Production ready.
Society Investment Center, Military Innovation Center, and Imperial Training Center. Old Imperial training regimes help all units produced in this colony. That would be fun, but I think let's do... I'm actually going to do military innovation first.
Production ready.
I also want to make sure this is set up. Okay, yeah, this is set up to take food, so that's fine.
Production ready.
Okay, we've got industry, and we will carry on along the same lines. Oh, do not go after the evil bird.
Happiness event in colony.
Alright, more food's never a bad thing. Tribute required. Entity known as Corvin Gelenzo must make an offering to the Autonom. If accepted, relations maintained. Okay, one final thing. I've got... should have space for one more factory overdrive.
Breakthroughs in gravitic containment and inertial dampening systems, intended to facilitate increased cosmite production, prove to have serendipitous applications in mass transit systems across a variety of terrains, allowing for more efficient transport across colonies where this technology is deployed. Dr. Aksanik, Chief Research...
Sorry guys, something odd has just happened to my broadcasting. Okay, there we go. Sorry to cut into the dialogue there. Okay, we could do environmental conditioning, which will give me the botanical gardens for morale. I don't have any aquatic territories to develop. Accelerated force deployment, so all units with amphibious or land movement gain expedited movement in mountains. Something tells me we won't have to worry about the mountains for a while. Let's just do environmental conditioning because it's... well, actually, let's do aquatic deployment just because that'll give me access to stuff.
I prefer the elegant, clean kill, but when you're outnumbered, they refuse to surrender, and I have the right weaponry. Well, that's when it's time to turn the whole enemy line into something my grandma would call chunky salsa. Enrique Garza, Vanguard Sharpshooter.
So, kinetic phase modulator, it's not clear that we'll be deploying that right away, but that gives me an option if we do go to war with the Syndicate to deal with their shields. Let's do... again, I kind of got to go for the free stuff if I can.
The sea is a maiden of many moods, most of them murderous. Captain Peter Visser, Salty Bay Colony.
I do like that quote. Okay, I think I'm still going to go for environmental. Well, so interesting I don't get to steal money from people. I get to steal maps. Let's do environmental conditioning.
Ever seen a metal fire? Given enough heat and the right fuel, anything will burn. Such intense fire requires careful setup. Plasmoids are special delivery bots filled with concentrated fire. They are quite useful for sparking a powerful blaze. Hot Ashman, Scarlet Flame rank.
Alright, the Aegis shielding is tempting, but it would be nice if I could come up with a more reliable way of dropping Pyrex on the ground. I think I'm going to do DVR Mark IV upgrades, again, just so that I can have some mod options. And let's clear out the Hopper Hounds. I don't expect too much trouble with this, but they might be able to knock me out of my trenches. They're clever, though. They're staying behind the cover. So the small worry I have here is that I'll be able to drop this this barrier, but in the end it won't. That was pleasant and unexpected. In the end, it won't matter because the Hopper Hounds are just going to pounce on them and knock them out. But we'll see. I can't predict it. Well, that's not a total loss. I'm going to advance my commander. If I'm lucky, I can get the... Oh no, I don't get the jump pack first turn, so we'll set up the shield. It probably won't do anything, though. And yes, I do get a clean shot on the Hopper Hound, so at least I can do a little bit of chip damage before they pounce on me. Oh my god, I'm an idiot! Oh, good. I get to at least undo that action. And unfortunately, he's not bleeding. But... Okay, Foreman can't really do a whole lot this turn. I'm just going to kind of keep him in the back row, ready to throw some encouragement when the time comes. So I am a little curious about how the Hopper Hounds work with this. They go after the one person who can beat them to death with a hammer.
Operations ready.
So this is kind of a neat one, right? With the shield, you get to push him back.
Enemy annihilated.
All right, hammer time. That was unexpected. Okay, so I don't want to throw the grenade. I think we'll just...
Payback. Victory.
That's a little more damage than I was expecting to take, to be honest, but it's not the end of the world. So the good news about this is we now basically have access to all of the bonuses that come from my my sector, from owning these sectors. A couple of things I'm going to change. So we're going to get rid of the agriculture and turn that into an industry, and then this one... Yeah, it grants 10 research, 10 energy to the colony that it's linked to, and it does not... it doesn't matter what I have set up as an exploitation. So I set up all of these agricultural areas specifically so that I can... build up the I want to build up the colonies really quickly so I can take all of the sectors that I can, but I do also want to make sure that I dismantle them in time as well. Okay, there's really nothing for me to do in Nobility Glen, so let's just move on to the next zone. I still don't have anything for this guy to do, and just trying to think what I want to do with my... See, I think my commander is the one to bring in here. I don't think I get to bring multiple units. We can get him in position, though, I guess. Alright, boss man.
It's important to imagine this patch of land without the raging hell fracture of cosmic death spewing forth pollutants from a dimension of pure agony and horror. Phil Dunford, Imperius 4 Colony Real Estate Agency.
Covert infiltration is really looking good right now. Because the thing is, as much as I really want the Cosmite growth chambers for the additional Cosmite, I'm not going to be able to build it for a few more turns. So let's do covert infiltration just so we can steal from the Syndicate.
I'll take a bullet for you. Well, I mean I will if I'm wearing fortified armor and shot detectors. Lady ID Vledov, Dvar War Heroine.
Alright. Now I actually need to make some decisions. So we've got deep detonation. Launch a torpedo that burrows underground towards an enemy army. When the torpedo hits its target, it deals 20% of the army's current health and gives slow movement for 2 turns. On failure, the targeted army only takes 20% damage. That's cool. And then Mountain Breaker makes uninhabitable mountain sectors habitable, or turns habitable mountain sectors into fertile plains. Man, the Dvar are a really cool faction. I think what I'm going to do here is I will set up the Noble Division before I do anything else, just so that I can get a replacement if we wind up losing the guy.
Everyone needs an excuse to do what they wanted all along. They have stuff that we want. Who decided they get to keep it just because they got there first? Zerera Tan of House Voyan, diplomatic consort.
Alright, let's say I can do counter ops. Operational effectiveness sounds a little bit better for the extra doctrine slot, but I don't have anything to spend on the doctrine yet. Dawn of a New Union. Instead of using force to conquer the planet, we will use our influence and allies to come out on top. Relation gains for completing quest increased by 50%. You gain... Okay, we don't need to worry about that. I think I'm actually going to go for the transit infrastructure upgrade, because we're getting really close to sort of uniting all of our borders. Entity known as Paragon wish to return Core Paragon to see Ghost of Core in Autonom. Destroy Cult of Core? YN. Yes, that's going to be a little hard to get to, but... Okay, and XR B8. Again, we're overworking everyone, so they're unhappy, but we have a bunch of surplus happiness, so I can live with that. Malai of House Antares is rumored to have committed serious atrocities. Malai of House Antares might do this again and is not to be trusted. I guess I won't feel bad about stealing from him then.
Production ready.
Okay, lots of stuff to do. Next up, we dismantle well, before I dismantle agriculture, let's I think I'm going to build some energy. Science would be nice too. But no, I actually think I need more energy, so we'll build that first, then we'll dismantle the agriculture. And let me make sure I got the order right on that. No, wait, this is military. Yeah, military engineering is correct. Actually, changed my mind. So I'm going to dismantle the agriculture first, because then I will be able to build an engineering upgrade, which gives me the civil points. And then I can build another production upgrade, which will give me the extra engineering points.
Production ready.
So this is just for the morale bonus. Although I guess before I go too crazy, less needed for growth sounds like a good upgrade. Oops. Come on.
Production ready.
So these areas, obviously, we can afford to be building. Units, but in this particular case, I don't see a major reason to go crazy with the production quite yet. I'm still trying to build up my energy if I can. Okay, boss man's got to go to the vault.
Happiness event in colony.
More research is always welcome. Okay, these guys we can ask to move out. The Reverend Citizen Corvin Zelezo, how may we be of service? We would like to be able to grant... would you be able to grant us access to this section? We're happy to extend you this favor, Corvin Zelezo. One of the things that I am quite fond of for this, cracking the Earth Force wall for... Yeah, so I guess I just stay put. One of the things I'm quite fond of with the Dvar is it seems to give me a little bit more to do in between turns where normally I'd feel like I was being a bit idle. And this might just be because I'm playing the other factions improperly, but being able to prospect and like destroy mountains and whatnot is one, it's really fun, and number two, it gives me a few things to do. I might be able to take these guys on. So it says risky battle. Okay, so the shield charge does arc. The fanatic is definitely the one I'm pretty spooked by. And then the heavy soldier is really the uncertainty on this one. I think I'm gonna hold... What? Sorry, I thought that was the retreat. Okay, looks like I'm committed to this then. I have some ideas though. It's a little early. Okay, yeah, it's early for tactics. What are you doing? I need to stop misclicking everything. Do I have... No, okay. Well, started off right. So normally I'd want to chuck this grenade at these two presumably arc-susceptible targets. For now, I think I'm happy to continue to do chip damage at the most threatening unit. Calculate targeting parameters, raise the... All networked units also gain this effect, but we're not networked, so that's not as exciting as I was hoping it would be. This is a big risk for the Sentinel. Because these guys are pretty fragile, and I'm pretty sure that unit that it's standing up against does arc damage. But again, this is just about spitting out as much damage as I possibly can at the start. Yeah, looks like he resisted the bleeding. Yeah, I think we'll just settle in and we'll do the damage that we can. So, the Fanatic, I suspect I'm probably going to have some problems with. And I think I'm actually going to put the Foreman right in the middle. Now, again, these guys have got a missile, so this is they're almost certainly going to use the missile to make me very sad in this area here. But I do have a couple of heals, so... Oh, I did not know that that would destroy my trenches. Okay, that's actually a huge problem now. I thought I was going to just be able to sit and heal for all of that, so... Now I see why I lost. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to reset that.
Hero lost.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I'm glad I got to see this again. Actually, maybe I just take my lumps and move on. Because, I mean, again, we've already won. Like, it's just a formality at this point, but it
Operation
feels
ready.
really bad to get taken out by... yeah, you know what? Honestly, at this point...
Just a small setback.
Oh, so you get, like, infinite retry. I'm sorry, guys. I do actually kind of want to try and make this work. Because basically it's a stronger force, so I sort of want to see. Most of the time I'm picking... I mean, so generally when I play games like this, the plan normally is to do as... like, basically go in and take unfair fights. But I don't learn from stuff like that. I learn more from the times where it's not at all obvious that I'm going to win. So, again, the aim on this one is to avoid situations where there's a bunch of people stacked on top of each other to get the area of effect damage. Yeah, it was not a high chance of hitting, so can't really complain about that. I'm not actually going to put these guys behind their trench yet, because I'm pretty sure we're still in the danger zone for a missile. I am, however, going to take the other trencher and move them harder to the side. I'm actually going to go... I think I'm going to go all the way, although this is probably susceptible to being destroyed. Okay, so I'm curious how they're going to react to this. That wasn't too much of a surprise there. Not clear whether or not we're going to survive on this one. Probably not. Yeah, that's a shame.
Hero lost.
I actually needed that hero. Fortune smirks, at least.
Operations available.
Okay, so. We entrench. So the smarter thing for me to do actually would have been... there's no way I could have made that work. Okay, so I am really screwed now. It's great, isn't it, Karn? The factions are just really original and really fun. Okay, I'll take the flanking bonus. Oh my god. So what's really sunk me here is the... it's the status effects. Okay, so we're able to take that thing out, but the overcharged one's still running rampant. Let's try a firestorm projectile. Give him something to think about. So notice we got the heal from that trench. Yeah, probably losing the foreman though. They knocked me out of my my trench. Okay, these guys are dead.
Unit destroyed.
They have a brave stand, but oh my god, I did not realize that they got the I did not realize they got the bonus. Okay, that's a huge problem. Okay, so what exactly is keeping... Okay, static charge, stunned. This is mostly just to do the fire damage wherever this guy winds up moving.
Unit has fallen.
Super bad for my bulwark. I don't see this thing surviving. Yeah, that's game over.
Lost.
Now I'm a little confused as to why I didn't get pushed out of my trench there. So I'm still going to aim on trying to survive this thing, so we will shield bash him. This is a lot more about just trying to make sure that I get my heal in. And we'll do the damage that we can. So shield won't matter against melee. Of course, he gets the heal at the end of that. Oof. Yeah, so that overcharge is absolutely appalling. Oh yeah, and we get stunned, so that's the end of that. So what kind of race am I playing right now? It's the first time seeing them. So this is a race known as the Dvaren't. And they're basically space dwarves, but they've got some really neat... they've got some really neat special abilities. So you can like mine out mountains and prospect sectors. So like there used to be a mountain range here that we wound up taking away. They're definitely like, there's two things I really like about them. One, hang on, I thought, okay, yes, we do. I'm just trying to make sure that I've got all of my sectors with the the extra productivity. The one thing that I think has been really effective with this faction is there's a lot of things for me to do in between turns, and I have not always felt that to be true with I've not always felt that to be true with the other factors. Like, I sometimes feel like I'm waiting for certain things that I'm setting up to come to fruition. So yeah, it's definitely a neat little faction with lots of fun little bonuses to do. That's not the right order. Also,
it's important to imagine this patch of land without the raging hell fracture of cosmic death spewing forth pollutants from a dimension of pure agony and horror. Phil Dunford, Imperius 4 Colony Real Estate Agency.
I really feel like what was I going to say? The trencher unit also tends to work for me. It's not quite the same turtle as the Vanguard where you set up your overwatches and whatnot, but I feel like it's sort of close enough to that that I feel at home.
I'll take a bullet for you. Well, I mean I will if I'm wearing fortified armor and shot detectors. Lady ID Vledov, Dvar War Heroine.
Alright, I don't remember what I wanted to say. Right, it was Noble Division. Okay, so we were closing in on the mission objective. I can tell these guys to FO. This guy's mining. Now we're moving Junior closer to the objective, although I do kind of want the commander to handle that. So this is just me recreating the turn that I lost by accidentally starting a fight with the bad guys. Should just take a quick second here. So the military infrastructure is costing me energy credits. It's actually very hard for me to justify it, but I'm still going to stick with it. Vladny Razovet is falsely denouncing other commanders. Vladny Razovet might do this again and is not to be trusted, says the Syndicate. All right, so that was my reward for mining down this mountain range. I'm gonna put the Earthcracker in proximity just in case we get to bring multiple armies on the adventure. Looks like I get some expansion. We'll eventually build some units for this guy to play around with. I'm kind of the opinion that this unit should be exploring out new areas or taking out enemies that are covering treasures that I want for myself. Alright, so the Syndicate wound up getting their Cosmite, so I was a little too late for that. I am a little inclined to take this area. See, I want this one because it connects my two regions, and I want this one because it's a desirable territory that they're very likely to take for themselves. What political system do the Space Dwarves have? Presumably they're communists, but well, that's not entirely true actually. Somebody, I think it was Cool Eagle, said that they were very communist, but they're very extractive, and I guess this is the tough one. Like if you think of sort of Soviet era policy, I mean it is very production oriented. Just because it's not a system of private ownership doesn't necessarily mean that they're not focused on the production of goods and services. I'll have to get a closer read on the politics. All right, against my better judgment, I am gonna annex Snowbank Forest first, and I don't give a damn if they think they own that. All right, Forest Wall Front is now no longer a mountain range.
Production ready.
And I really do need to build another colony. Like I said, I was going to go energy in the capital after I went industry, so that's sorted.
Production ready.
These guys, I need improvements towards growth before I do anything else.
Production ready.
Again, all of these base upgrades are sort of the very last thing that
Production ready.
I want to build.
Production ready.
Okay. I think I was going to do another agriculture. Right, that's just to stimulate growth.
Sector annexed. Production ready.
Again, focusing on energy above all.
Production ready.
Energy efficient assembly line, so minus 15% cost for units. Buy now costs 15% less. The buy now bonus is one that I already get. Let's do military engineering first. And I think I am going to do an energy efficient assembly line. And so the reasoning behind that is it gives me a more consistent stream of units to play with. The vault. Unearthed entrance to an underground vault. Alright, so it's just my main force. So this is not trivial. So we've got create the Redeemer's Hand, Vorpal Shot, and an Arc Grenade. We've got the Reaver. The assembly were created to save us from a virulent plague. We never anticipated our creation would turn against us. If my research is correct, I've isolated our miscalculation in assembly motivational programming. There is a presence in the Intelligent Neural Interface Oracular Conscience Hypercore, INIOC? The assembly adapted to the hypercores to control a cyborg swarm that can gather as the deadly Reaver. Its hunger grows and replicates until nothing remains. I broadcast this warning into the void. We cannot defeat them. Perhaps you can. We fight the hunger of death itself. Professor Lister Tan, RV3369C, fragments from listening post Zaxxon 3. So Arc Storm is something my bulwark needs to be scared of. Call down bolts of arc energy from above, striking targets and ignoring cover. Can't be staggered. Swarm Forn, split the Reaver into a swarm of devouring robots, restoring 25 health. It's a free action, and there's apparently no limit. Re-energize, restore all action points and dispel all hostile status effects on target-friendly unit. This effect can jump to an additional 2 units within 3 hexes of the original unit. This ability does not work on the Assembly Reaver, regardless of what form they are in. That's cooldown 3. This guy is a nightmare. And they've got 75 health and 6 armor, so this thing can't be taken out. Like, this is the crazy thing about it, is that seeing it go into swarm form, this thing strikes me as something that will be incredibly difficult to kill. Alright, we've seen the Vorpal Sniper before. The Disassembler. I've seen many tortured bodies pieced together by the Assembly, so much suffering and death. Most sensible life knows that the Assembly is no friend to the living. Still, when I saw the Disassembler fire its massive gun, I recognized twisted glee in its grinning face. That's when I knew. Some humans willingly join the Assembly. There's a strain of humanity enamored with guns. They delight to discharge themselves. Disassemblers love blowing up cover, so hiding behind obstacles will get you killed. My tactical advice is simple. Run and keep running. Marag Nib, RV 2222X, run away. So this got a Gatling gun, a disassembler shot, and again, I'm kind of glad we didn't go for any of these arc weapons. So normally the Reaver would be the priority target, but honestly at this point I think just killing everything around the Reaver is the better way for me to go. This is obviously one where I'll be willing to drop down the Pyrex on them. Okay, can the trenchers shoot anybody this turn? No. I'm going to do something unexpected then. I'm actually going to face these guys head on. So this is a riskier move just because I'm not in an ideal position to open fire on them. And we're kind of spread out. This might give me some future options. So I want to make sure that these two are close to each other so that I can get an overcharge in. I think we'll send the foreman to augment these guys. So the big worry here is that they're going to get some good shots on me in the first round. I'm going to try and exercise some discipline with the repair module. Oh man, looks like the commander's ready to go. Okay, this is gonna get fun.
Operations available.
So not enough. Not enough action point. Oh, I see. Because he got a stun. So this is really getting spicy. But the idea here is to cause some grief for the sniper here. Obviously, though, I'm dropping the rocket hammer on the commander. Okay, so I think it's safe to say that my trenchers are able to do some damage. So we're going to set up with our trenches. Now, again, one of the priorities needs to be taking things out because we know the Reaver is going to be able to heal things.
Enemy annihilated.
Seems to me we're in a good spot to take advantage of the overcharge. I'm going to risk it on this one just because I believe I get 2 shots from this position. Okay, so the foreman... I don't want to blow up my commander, but we should be able to drop a grenade just on the stairs.
Enemy hero
Glorious.
killed.
Alright, so that's left my commander in a little bit of an awkward spot with his back facing the enemy. But that was a good round. Fire! I'm sure that won't, like, make all the difference, but... Alright, we can give him a heal, as long as he doesn't get wiped out by the Reaver. Now, it looks like, unfortunately, I'm not able to drop a heal on the commander. So again, the priority is to take out creatures before we go after something like the Reaver.
Enemy eliminated.
All right. And now we do what we can to take this thing out. Now again, it has a lot of health, so it's entirely possible that this thing will completely recover from everything we throw at this round. I don't love sticking my guys on top of each other like that, but I want to do whatever damage I can. And I will avoid the operations for now. I want to see what it does this turn. Alright, so he's just going to keep dropping the arc. So I'll admit, I'm a little curious now as to exactly what happens with this Nanite form. We will never find out, though.
Enemy destroyed. Victory.
Okay. I'd say that went pretty well. The Vault's Guardians lie defeated, and the Redeemer's assault along with it. Now no one can question our claim to the treasures within. Today the Zeleno Dvar make their name. Okay, so it doesn't actually indicate that the place was cleaned out by the assembly. I wonder if that means that there are different consequences based on your victory types at the end of the game, like in the final level. Okay, again, this is something I kind of like from Civilization. You can sort of see how the map shifts. It's not the fastest replay. We'll continue the campaign. I'm obviously not going to be able to get through another...
The vault we uncovered has repaid all the blood, sweat, and tears we shed for this expedition. This impressive bounty of cosmite will surely appease the Adamant Council and prove our worth. The excavation of Chimera Glacialis has proven as profitable for the Zelezo as we had projected. Mining operations are running at peak efficiency. The Razvet Consortium is no longer an obstacle. The hammer has fallen. We received their transmission this morning. The Xylezo Consortium and all its associates have been exiled. Any contact with them forbidden by the Adamant Council. This is an outrage. Other consortia have been forgiven far worse transgressions. No, it is clear that the Council fears our return. They fear their corruption getting exposed, and I am willing to bet my last filter that these Redeemers will lead me to it.
All right, so... Zemistian 4, wronged and exiled, the Dvar seek to redeem themselves with a big bang. Now this is really interesting. This is the first time we've been given a player character with Xenoplague. Our other options... So this is the camp we've done the tutorial. Leaf 6 and Seronius Alpha were the Vanguard, so these are kind of the Space Marines. We did Arcadia Celeste and Zakir Ko, which were the Kirko campaigns. We just finished Chimera Glacialis, which is the first VAR campaign, and we're now playing what I believe is the daughter. And in this case, So by the way, I will just take a quick minute here and highlight how much fun the commander screen is. So if you've played Age of Wonders, or if you're familiar with kind of more fantasy games in this style, race is just race like it would be in any other game. There are bonuses and potentially negatives that are associated with your species. In this case, the Dvar are a thrifty race of survivalists. The Dvar work hard to mine planets for all they're worth, to gain as many resources as possible for their consortium's survival and welfare. Starting bonus, start with 150 energy. Long-term bonus, hurry production is 15% cheaper. So the big thing you want to do here is take that energy and put it towards infrastructure that will make you better. I mean, I think this is one of the reasons why I found the Dvar. I mean, it might be that particular mission is easier, but this is definitely in line with the way I like playing games like this anyway. They get so races also determine what types of weapons groups you get. So it looks like I don't get to pick that. So firearms and explosives, powerful area of effect, medium range attack, strong focus on production, and terraforming options to destroy and create mountains. You can also create mountains, yes. So the secret technology, you can think of this a little bit like a class. So in this case here, the Xenoplague spreads through a highly adaptive alien parasite and can be used to create biological weapons, develop super soldiers, and evolve planetary populations. Starting unit Pustule. Spawn and evolve special units after battle, heal and enhance biological units, deploy infectious bioweapons, and uses the biochemical and kinetic damage channels. So I think one of the things that's kind of fun about these guys is you wind up kind of spawning a ton of extra units just for attacking. But the thing I like about the Age of Wonders series, whether it is the fantasy game or the sci-fi one, is the commander customization. Now it is a story campaign, so I'm locked into a certain person, but lots of this looks great. Look at that. Oh man, the cowboy look is great too. You can see these two playing Twilight Struggle. Triumph, obviously, developers of the Overlord series. Oh, this is a neat one. Man, there's some really neat Dvar outfits. Anyways, the customization's a bit less than what it would normally be because of the because we're on a story mission, so it wants to make sure that I have only certain techs and whatnot. I've been playing on medium so far, so I think probably in my heart of hearts I know that I could go to high, but I do kind of want to complete the campaign. So I think on this one we'll stick with medium. The two beards do look really great. So we get the sharpshooter equipment. Now I think with Xenoplague, there's an argument to be said that I probably want something other than sharpshooter, but I'll live with this. So increases damage dealt when using ranged weapons. Deny slightly increases accuracy and critical hit chance. It's Imperial sniper rifles, so kinetic damage, basic grenade, which for kinetic damage. Star Union Scholar, you spent most of your life in libraries studying the Star Union and its rich history. It fascinates you to the core. You joined the military so that you could see the Union's wonder for yourself. Secret technology expertise decreases secret technology research costs by 15%. That's actually a good one to know. So this means that I need to go down the Xenoplague route. I have an advantage in going down the Xenoplague route. And Curator, rewards from pickup sites and structures are increased. And then no colony supplement and no vice. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Hidden citizen. Forgive me while I touch my face repeatedly.
The past few months have taken a toll on us all. Exiled by the Council, the Zeletso Dvar needed new impulses, and I was asked to take over as director of our consortium. I will not rest until the true motives of the Adamant Council are uncovered, and the Zeletso name is restored. To this end, I have followed the Redeemers to a planet called Zemestian 4. The database footage of Zemestian 4's surface reveals its rich landscape. As Dvar, we are used to exploiting nature, but have forgotten its beauty. From within our suits, the outside world feels unapproachable and lifeless. Using the Alpha strain I have been studying, I may be able to liberate my people from their self-made prisons and allow them to breathe the fresh, unfiltered air again.
I don't think I know the story about why they're in the suit.
Celestian 4 lies below us. The world is as beautiful as the old records claim, and every bit as unstable. Since the Redeemers fled to this world, we can only presume they want to consult with their masters. We will track them down. We must find the root of this corruption and clear the name of the Dvar at any cost.
Yes, it does. Actually, I was playing, I don't know if you still play Warframe, but I believe there's a bonus for 7-year anniversary, which you may be interested in picking up at the Azaz. And I actually played a little bit of that on the weekend. I had a good time. I'm actually sorry to do this to you guys, but I really do like showing off this trailer. Okay, has anybody in chat seen the E3 trailer for Age of Wonders Planetfall? Because I think one of the this particular, like what Isaacson is calling the Warframe bit actually works really well in that E3 trailer. As soon as I saw this trailer, I knew I had to play the game, so this won't be too long, but I think this is a fantastic trailer. Paradox has really upped its game as far as trailers have gone for the last couple of years, so just bear with me a minute. This thing's like less than a minute long.
Peggy 16.
So yeah, that first like glimpse from the cockpit, I definitely think, or observation deck, I think looks absolutely fantastic. Also, it is a statement as to how utterly tedious I am as a streamer that a game that exciting in the trailer is this slow when I play it. Okay, let's make our turn count. We have arrived. Our allies landed scattered about the world. Also, the Redeemers have touched down nearby. If we find them, we will surely find their contact. We should give chase before the trail grows cold. If we are to find their contacts, we must track them. First things first, let's establish a new base of operations to explore our surroundings. We should send out search parties to recover our allies. Their forces will bolster our position on this hostile world. Alright, Vladimir Razovets and Var have pledged their support to your cause. Their trust caused them to be exiled along with you. You should meet up with their landing party and bring them into the fold. So I am very curious if conquering them in the previous game will leave you, or in the previous mission will leave you without allies on this one. Dinosaurs with lasers is just a good argument no matter the discussion. Oh, sorry, I gotta bring the game volume back down. Zemistan 4 is a lush world, yet it has few signs of Star Union settlement. The surface seems to be dotted with strange tears in our dimension. This instability means that the planet is ripe with cosmite, and this opportunity is one you should not pass up. Okay. So again, we'll make our turn count, but we'll also figure out what our objectives are. So Planetfall objective report. Discover who controls the Council and the Redeemers. Corvin Zelendo must survive. Recover the Razovit landing party. Explore Zemesian. Okay. So it's not at all clear what I need to do for the exploration goal. Victory condition, find the source of the corruption. Discover who controls the Council and the Redeemers. Someone behind the scenes has made puppets of the Council and the Redeemers. Finding out who is the key to freeing the Dvar. Sorry, finding out who is the key to freeing the Dvar from their influence. Victory condition, Corvin must survive. Okay, so we first got upgrades. So let's take a quick look at what our options are here. So we've got rapid movements. This hero learns to move rapidly to confuse their enemies. The hero gains skitter, making them harder to hit if they move during their turn. The problem is, of course, that with a sniper rifle, why in the world would I ever do that? You know, it takes my full action, so I can't move very often. So it seems to me rapid movements is just a non-starter. This is actually a pretty decent little setup, although I think I want to move the prospectors out separately so that I can get the bonuses right away. I'm thinking infantry commander like I normally start. Siege master, all units in this hero's army gain 2 damage resistance in all channels while in cover. Tempting, I think I can do better. I could do Deadeye again, bonus for accuracy and crit. Range specialist will give me more damage overall. Yeah, let's do Rage Specialist for a start. And I've got 2 skill points left over, so let's say some extra vitality for our trouble. Okay, so Prospectors I'm moving out separately just so that we'll be able to get some exploration in with it. But 2, we also get more prospecting done. This does put me behind in terms of clearing out all the baddies, but I think I can still work with that. Okay, Corvin is another matter. Oh, actually, Corvin gets to keep all of his cool toys. I wonder if I still get the. No, I don't get the other goodies from before. So let's spend the skill points. Now again, he's going to be melee focused. So stagger immunity is actually. I'm beginning to realize how good that is. We'll start with Infantry Commander just because I like the bonuses. I might actually go in for a Close Quarters Specialist right away. It's tempting to go for if I go for the extra 6, what else does that give me? Vitality, Strong, Melee Overwatch can no longer be cancelled by a stagger and will never miss. That's a huge argument for... Okay, so I've got 6 left. So I can't do Vitality and Counterattack, but boy oh boy is it... Now I gotta do the Plasma Surge again. And because I'm setting myself up with Plasma Surge, I am going to do Counterattack. So I don't have as much health as I would like, but I think we can still work with this. Okay, so we're going to group this unit up. Now again, I eventually want to have it so that I have 2 separate units moving in, but I do want to get the bonuses of my... I basically want to get as much stuff as I can at the start. So... I don't normally like doing... No, I'm going to wait the turn. Okay, so production. We will start with the Central Biofarm, and we will buy it now. And... say I want to be able to build replacement foremen, but honestly, the Bulwark is such a strong unit. I'm gonna start myself off with that. And I won't build the trenchers yet. I think I'm gonna fill out my commander's army, and then we'll worry about replacements for Corvin. Okay, so this world has the mildest climate I've ever seen. It's beautiful in its way. If only we could experience this bountiful life with our own senses as others do. Director, our science division are settled and ready to be set to work. Good. I sense that this may be the time. My research into the Alpha strain may bear fruit on a world such as this. I should direct our scientists' efforts towards it. The Xenoplague may yield a cure, but first preliminary research must be done. So, research Alpha strain inception. So we got industry and science, and industry and science. Alright, so again, this is also a nice excuse for me to get some more exploration in. Alright, so I'm not going to make it this turn. I am, however, going to go north. Oh, this will be fun. So I actually get to bring this guy into the combat as well. Marauders are trembling in fear and trying to flee the battle. What do you want to do? We will allow them to retreat. Oh, that's great. Cogmisk has gained a colonist, and we will move towards our objective. Okay, so we get to annex our first sector. See, stadium would be nice. Thing is, so all of the so here's a way that I tend to think about these issues. So number one, right now, I want to be maximizing my food production so that we can expand the colony and take advantage of the resources as quickly as possible. So all of these have equal food. Also, they all have sort of equal industry and science. So really what this point in particular comes down to choosing which bonus do I want. Now, one, I don't need to redirect units to clear out the Stadium Arcadium or the energy. There is an argument for going for the energy early because it gives me the buy it now bonus. But in this particular case here, I do want the production. And so in this case, we're going to go for the node. But we're also going to focus on food if I can. Well, when I can, because obviously I want to take advantage of the industry and energy at the start. But this was a bit of a special circumstance. Okay, military research. So the game's telling me do Alpha Strain Inception first. I get the option, obviously, but it's pretty hard not to follow objectives. And Frontier Facilities. So now learning that it's not necessarily to your advantage to immediately pump out a colonizer, I don't automatically do Frontier Facilities anymore. And this particular case here, changing the revised safety regulations, and then the DVR terrain security bulwark, although less important along this line here. In this case, the doctrine is the path that I want to go down first. All right, ready to move on. Oh, you know what? I think I lost my ability to exploit this sector. That was a blunder. Okay, so we'll prospect the Forest of the Lost. Cogmisk has an unexploited sector. So let's go industry first. We can actually rush that. Whether or not that was the right call is a whole other question, because now... Oh yes, no, that was the right call, because I want to build... units.
Sector annexed. Objective completed.
Am I missing something? It feels like that had no effect whatsoever. All right, well, it seems to me I want to clear out the riffraff, especially for the sectors that I want to take for myself. Let's prospect where we can. All right, the Marauder Guard does not want to be pushed around this time around. So we're 830 versus 340. We should still be doing okay, although the Transcendent does get some health bonuses. But we'll hit the manual combat. I also have 2 commanders, so I'm... Okay. That's not a surprise. So this is basically melee versus my... my ranged units. Although I believe these guys do get shotguns. So, trenchers, we'll move them up as close as possible. Ooh, I'm not crazy about this explosive. Well, but if I want to shoot the assembly, I only have one option, so Now this isn't as strong as before because I don't have the tech. Alright. Kind of want to make sure that I'm just out of range of the Kirko here. Not quite ready to... I want to do bold moves with this guy, but that's a little too bold. So we'll move him behind these trees. Foreman, I'm not quite sure what I want to do with him yet, so... Now, the Kirko are probably going to be able to attack these trenchers. Drat. I should have that covered. So I've got my Overwatch now. And I'm going to leave my Foreman... Well, I'll move him up a little bit, but... That's more in prep for what happens next turn. So again, this isn't much of a deterrent because it's the Transcendent that ultimately takes the damage. Oh, that was clever. I didn't even think that they would spit up on that. I probably should have seen that coming. Alright, that was a pretty lucky shot. Getting quite a few lucky shots here.
Enemy eliminated.
Alright. So now we've removed the link. This guy's still going to be able to do a number on my entrenched guys, but we have enough backup, and we've taken out the assembly. That, in my view, that's the right division. Although this is going to be a nasty. Oh, looks like he's not. Oh, he's going after the sniper. Clever. This is really just kind of efficiently using my units to take out the status effects and whatnot. So the hope is that we'll be able to take these things out without me having to use my my sniper. Nope, but the stagger should help with the Overwatch. Yeah, so they don't get melee Overwatch anymore. Alright, there's not a whole lot for me to do, to be honest, but we can still move around. Oh, still not enough. Alright. That's unfortunate, but it's what I got. So again, that's kind of some... It's not unnecessary damage. Obviously, it's damage we had to take, but it does mean that I'm going to have a little while longer for healing.
Enemy annihilated. Victory.
Anyways, we do get some experience, which is good. Okay, so Corvin is ready for some upgrades. So all units in this hero's army gain armor. That's welcome, but so would be things that make him a little more healthy. So let's just see. So armor, maybe. Follow protocols. The fire isn't quite enough. Hardiness training. All units in the hero's army gain +2 resistance against status effects. Oh, well, status effects, though, so that's a little different. Purging Field. Hero launches a Purging Field modulator at the target location. All negative and positive effects are removed from all units within a 2-hex radius. Not bad. Stubborn is kind of tempting. But I think I'm going to do the Vitality. As much as I like the idea of Armorer, the spare Vitality is a little too good for a unit that's basically on the front line. Okay. let's see what we prospect. Okay. Some welcome industry. Not doing too good as far as the exploration is concerned, but I can't rush this guy, unfortunately. Okay, so we've got a bulwark set up. Let's do some trenchers. Data from the Inception research looks promising. Perhaps this could be the first steps towards our freedom. The Alpha strain is a being that craves evolution. However, if we wish to make it serve our purposes, then it must have a host, and it must be guided along its evolutionary path so it fulfills its desired function. Which means you'll need a test subject. I would volunteer, but it sounds like this sort of experiment requires a younger subject. Indeed, I am compelled to volunteer myself, but as director I cannot take such a risk. It seems that we have no choice but find a volunteer within our own people.
Objective completed.
Found our volunteer. Okay, that complicates things a little bit. No, actually, we still have 2 slots open, so... Oh, apparently we... Production resources moved to Kogamisk. What should be built with them? Sure. Again, I'm still weirded out by the fact it made us go to Rigid Heights, and there was seemingly no consequence for this. Okay, so we're just shy of my first full unit.
It isn't disease that breaks civilizations. This Alpha strain can infect every living thing. Some will grow stronger, while others are afflicted and die. That uncertainty erects quarantine barriers and awakens the sickening cruelty already lodged deep in the human heart. Dr. Marvin Mentor, Union Center for Disease Control.
Okay, so the unit mod for this, the unit is infected with a strain of Xenoplague and gains hyper-evolved immune system, granting it +2 resistance to all non-psionic status effects and ferocious determination, making the unit immune to negative morale and mind control effects. Additionally, this mod grants the unit +10 health, and then we have Parasitic Strike. Target biological or cyborg unit takes 15 biological damage and has an 8 strength chance to contract parasitic infection. The effect jumps up to 2 times to a nearby target within 2 hexes. Okay, so the game's not necessarily telling me to do any more Xenoplague for now. I do get a research bonus towards it. The problem is waiting 7 turns for the next unit, which would be 13. It's a little much at the start. Whereas Subjugation Ordnance gives me bleed. Perimeter Security gives me the Ironbreaker modifications, although again I don't have too many melee oriented units. So the Factory Overdrive is actually a pretty good bonus. I think what I'm going to do is the Subjugation Ordnance first, and then Perimeter Security, and then Drudges, and then we can take a look about whether or not I want to do Dispersion Militarized Strains. And we still don't have... Nope, that's not the one.
Please don't be alarmed if we ask you to abandon your native holdings. It's nothing personal. Our technology is specifically crafted to fit the Dvar. Our physiology simply doesn't match yours, and you aren't optimized to make the profits our empire requires. Prakova Petrovic, Productivity Safety Manager.
Alright, new research. I suppose this means frontier facilities. Alternatively, if we do biomatter repurposing, train your commanders in how the bodies of defeated enemies can be optimized for use by the Xenoplague virus. The chance of the Xenoplague unit spawning or evolving is increased by 30% for each hero you have in battle. That's very strong. Biomatter scavenging. Xenoplague science allows for the scavenging of biomatter for regenerative purposes. After every victorious battle, units in Xenoplague armies heal for 5 health per killed biological or cyborg unit. Now, the thing is that this is a doctrine, so it does take up doctrine slots. But here's what I'm going to do. We'll do Frontier Facilities just because I do want to take advantage of my production bonuses. I think we will go down the
Operations available for priming.
doctrine path, and we'll do Revised Safety Regulations again. This is just because it gives me a bonus towards building structures. If a man with a spade could build a hovel, imagine what he might build with the tools that this technology provides. It is time for us to give our armies the tools that they need to build our glorious new empire. Apply unit mods to 5 separate units, and use 5 tactical operations in combat. Okay, let's see what we can prospect. I think I'm going to run around a little bit with the boss man, the other boss man. I should have picked this up earlier. Crashed research ship. The remains of this research ship contain intact data pads. Unfortunately, they don't reveal any information about the vessel's mission and crew or the events that led to its crash landing. So one of the nice things about the prospectors for the Dvar is that notice how much of the map we're already revealing just by going to pick up the next few little bits. The other big bonus that'll come out of this will be like I'll have a clearer idea in terms of where I want to put my next colony. So this is already attractive because of the science bonus, and I might want to take a look in some of the surrounding areas to see whether or not there's extra things that I can pick up.
Production ready.
Though primitive, blades have always been lethal, especially striking a foe flying at supersonic speed. Orindra Reaver, Syndicate Assassin.
Okay, so I'll try to equip that flechette ammo as quickly as possible, but I might be short on the energy. Perimeter security is up next. This is because I want to take advantage of factory overdrive. This is the other reason why I need the Frontier Society research. Because I do need to mitigate the -4 to morale. Dragon Voss, Director, I'm Dragon Voss of the Zalezo. Word is spread amongst our kin of what you want to achieve. They're nervous, uncertain, but I do not fear what must be done for a just cause. I've come to offer myself, mind and body, to your service. Let me bear this burden for our kind. Baron Dragon Voss, I know who you are. Your clan has been with us since our oldest records. It is good to see that your dedication to the consortium remains steadfast. Are you certain you wish to take this risk? The Xenoplague is dangerous. It may help us cure our dependency, but it will not be easy. Yes, Director. My father fell on Chimera. But my belief that the Zalezo cause is not shaken, nor is my decision to carry the burden. The ancestors will watch over me, I am sure. As will you. I am honored by your trust, Baron Voss. Let us begin then. The inception process should only take 1 cycle to complete. I can only hope that it will give us answers in time. Okay. We'll combine this unit here. Again, at this point I'm kind of just getting experience and clearing out areas that I know I want to take over later. Oops, sorry. We'll be wrapping up before too long. I'm just getting close to the end time, and I do need to record a new Morrowind episode tonight. But let's try and get 1 or 2 more turns in before... Alright, so that looks like a faction that I can talk with. And this is going to be a bit of a scouting mission just to see if I missed out on anything in the... Oh! Come back! I can't really build anything else. I gotta get the foreman next, but these things take time. Alright. I feel strange. The same, yet different. It feels as though potential courses through my veins. Strong, yet flexible. What is the next step, Director? We should ensure our new symbiote is guided along the correct path, and for that you must be brought into the crucible that forges the strongest Dvar, battle. The strain Voss bears must be guided to resilience. Battle should provide plenty of opportunity. Dragon Voss suffered damage in combat, and Dragon Voss is alive. Okay, well, that's a little inconvenient for getting my other guy in. But we can make this happen. So, Trencher. So what this basically means is that I'm gonna be waiting a little bit to take on this this unit, but I can live with it.
Our colonies require the means to protect themselves and a reason to stay. At the very least, it's time to invest in some good old-fashioned guns and beer.
So,
Dollar Smith, Deneb Colony Mayor.
This is so I can get the recreational dome, so I can take advantage of the extra production. Area surveillance is tempting, so that'll give me access to operation effectiveness. Yes, because 8 turns. It is actually faster for me to do biomatter repurposing because it'll take 8 turns, whereas this will be a combined 11 turns for me to gain operation effectiveness. So we'll do biomatter repurposing. We won't necessarily do it so that we can get the scavenging and the preparation training, but I'm going to do it so that I can get the
Doctrine enacted.
the bonuses to production. So by allowing us to bypass some of the official work regulations, we can finish structures more quickly and at a reduced cost. Structures cost 20% less industry to build. Obviously, I'm at a point where I'm building more units more than anything, but let's start with a recreational dome. I guess I said I was going to do a foreman, so we'll build one of those and then eventually a bulwark. Well, I'm going to sit on that. Psyfish. Nesizleo, a physical presence, interaction. Your kind is different. Krichu cosmic kin, longing to return. Commune. The Psyfish NPC faction is an ancient species of psionically powered creatures originating from the void. They acquire knowledge by extracting and consuming the brains of other organisms. We come in peace, allow us to help you. This planet, spherical. This plane, foreign. Taste of danger, smells of unfamiliarity. Task, physical. Acceptance? Tell us about this task. Fell marauders, their cruelty, spacers, bitter blood, difficult hosts, a terrible challenge, broken minds, no hope of congruence, savage taste, empty vessels, need better minds, stop the madness. Okay, that's going to be a little bit of a trek, but probably worth it. Ooh, okay, let's get out of there. Nope, there's more spacers. And again, it's just a combination of exploration and prospecting when I can. So... I see that Mephalis spoke the truth. More defilers have come to our world. This world is ours. Your every step offends our mistress. I am Kelshana Lachiak, the appointed custodian of our communion. My mistress' mandate demands that your presence on this world be snuffed out. You must be Mephalis' contact. Did he come running to you with his tail between his legs? Mephalius returned to us. He is receiving his just rewards. I have no doubt you will be reunited soon. You're on our world now, and we outnumber you. Outnumbered, but not outclassed. Each Zaleo Javar is twice the warrior you and your ilk are. You meddled with our affairs, and we will repay you in kind. It will be our pleasure to defeat you.
War has been declared on us.
I don't remember these people at all. Alright, I have no idea where these people are. Oh, there they are. We might want to just head directly in after them, but we'll see. Okay, prospects. Here we're still waiting to bring my my symbiote, my host rather. All right, production. Yeah, we're gonna do the bulwark over the foreman. Actually, I can afford both. Maybe I want to do a colonizer right away then. I don't really know where I want to put it yet though. So we'll start with a foreman, and then I might change my mind later. Okay, so they got the emissary, diplomats on play. Warmonger, kill 6 units belonging to another player. We should get that before too long. Due to the happiness of your population, there's a boost in energy income. This colony receives 179 energy. That means that, oh, that's why I could build so much stuff. Popular support has changed to supportive. So this is one thing I didn't quite realize. That, or it was added in the Tyrannosaurus update, although I kind of feel like this has always been in the game. I did not realize that I can get, with supportive, like having a just war, I can get improvements to my ability to make war. So, and we're distrusted with the Amazon. So unfortunately, it's going to take me another turn to get involved here. I think I am going to take it. But not without a little uncertainty as to whether or not that's the right call. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to get anything there. This looks like it's underwater. Yeah, aquatic district. I suppose it's okay that the Amazon are far away, but I want to be careful. Let's go charging into the next area. Okay. No resources this turn.
The mere existence of fortification or armoring is often enough to prevent an assailant's attack. Precious strength can then be saved for productive offensive measures. Construction Director Radolf Mag, Rumble Barrocade's company.
Okay, so the fortification tools is a big one for my trenchers. And then... Oh no, not breach protection protocol. Oh, did I mess this up? And we'll keep them... Nope, drudges is what I needed. So in 5 turns, we'll get the bonus. Am I going to have... No, society, I'm going to be 1 turn short. Okay, we are going to move on the spacer unit soon. And I'm technically at the end, but I do kind of... Oh, this is going to be inconvenient. Okay. So again, I need to make sure that this unit gets damaged. I'm fairly certain that can be arranged. So of course the challenge here is that I did waste a bunch of time getting the units all together, but... So this guy might be in for a really rough turn, but I'm feeling okay. So in this case, I want to do as much damage as I can to anything that does arc damage first. This is the boss man. It's not quite ready to... I'll move him around the side. He's in a little bit of a risky spot, but not nothing too savory. Okay, that was welcome. Okay, so I do get a quick shot on the melee unit. Otherwise, I would have moved him closer. Pustule isn't quite ready to... Well, I guess he does get parasitic infection. I'm not quite sure I want to throw them into too much danger at the moment. What's the range on this thing? Okay, I don't get to shoot anything. Well, I do get to shoot it from here. Let's try it. Well, didn't have huge expectations. Well, may we all miss with that level of quality. So normally I would go for these guys. In this case, I do actually want to do some damage to the assembly. That's just because I don't have too many opportunities to actually damage this particular unit. I think I'm gonna hold. Well, I'll put the pustule up here. Again, I don't exactly want to throw it into the battle right away. And seeing as most of these guys are melee... Well, okay. I may regret this. Okay, looks like I can actually toss a grenade at them. And if I'd done that ahead of time, I actually probably would have had more damage because they're not hiding behind cover. But anyways, out of position on a couple of units, but I think it's some semi-calculated risk. Oh man, that could not have possibly gone better.
Operations available. Payback.
Okay, I am a little curious as to whether or not I'm going to be able to do this jump jet and then... Oh, I am. This is going to be beautiful. Okay, so I could do ambush leap. The unit jumps forward 3 hexes. When targeting an enemy non-heavy unit, it deals damage and pushes the unit back, taking its place. I don't think... Yeah, I can't actually get away with that. We will do infectious bite, though.
Payback. Enemy destroyed.
So I wonder, I don't think we get a bio unit out of that. A new vitality courses through my veins. I feel it. The pain of the wounding was dulled somehow, lessened. Yet after each blow I felt myself grow stronger. I can feel it pulling at me already. It needs more biomatter to evolve. You are indeed growing stronger, as is the alpha strain within you, increasing with resilience, but we'll need more if we are to be independent of our suits again. We'll need to regain what was lost. We could strengthen it more to perhaps unlock its regenerative properties, but it might leave Voss changed forever. So see where this leads, or this is wrong. No, this is wrong. A creature like this can only corrupt if we let it grow further than this. I'm sorry for what it has brought you, dragon, but important lessons are learned regardless. It is my duty to serve, Director. Though it may not have given us what we wanted from it, I cannot waste such strength. I will fight for you in the coming conflicts. I'm glad to see that you carry the wisdom of your ancestors within you after all. I know it hurts you, daughter, but some things cannot be changed.
Objective completed.
Alright, and on that note, March 9th now. Again, Planetfall is really fun, so I'm sorry I didn't get to go too far into this playthrough, but I'm a little bit past where I wanted to be, and again, I do need to record a new episode of The Elder Scrolls. To be honest, oh, look at the time. If there's an Elder Scrolls episode tomorrow, it will almost certainly be a very short one, but I'll do my best. Anyways, guys, like I said, I'm very happy that Paradox reached out with the key, and not just to Planetfall, but Revelations as well. I know we're currently not playing the campaign for Revelations, but we are going to. We'll get back to that as soon as we finish the main campaign. Now, again, we've been with Planetfall for a little while after BattleTech, and the big danger, of course, would be any other games being released. So my deal with this will be, if there is an obligation that keeps me from completing the Planetfall campaign, I will do one of two things. I will try and do it on my other casting days, on Wednesdays and Fridays if time allows. Of course, keep in mind I do have things like Six Ages, World of Horror, Fort Triumph are probably the most recent examples of some keys that we were given to play. So I can't necessarily guarantee a full amount, but what I will do if there is something that winds up supplanting Planetfall before I'm able to complete the campaign, I will try and find other days to stream it. And then, of course, whatever comes along, games end, right? There is natural breaking points into other titles. And so with that in mind, we will carry on with Planetfall, but in the event that something comes up in the place, I might have to shift the streaming day and possibly put Planetfall away for a couple of days. But that is certainly not for want of enjoyment. It's a really wonderful game. Before I leave you all, let's find somebody to host, if you will bear with me. I always like to pass along a fine audience to... Oh, there's quite a few good people streaming tonight. Yeah, no problem, Ego Karen. I am always happy to see you in here. You too, Eyes of Sin. Thank you very much. Okay, there's actually a couple of people who I really like hosting, who are on channels that I'm not as big of a fan of. So tonight we will host Elegy. And again, for those of you who don't know it, by the way, I'm really sorry for not doing this earlier. I was rushed to get through the whole stream. Let me just take a quick minute here, guys. Eyes of Sin has done the wonderful emotes for this channel, and I actually feel really bad that I didn't say this earlier, but I was very surprised to see her because I thought she was going to be asleep. If you've not seen the emotes, they are here. Sin doesn't get to use her own emotes, which I think is one of the things that's a bit broken about the Twitch system. But she did some wonderful work behind this. She is available for commissions. She also does voice work. In fact, if I were to say that her voice work is better than her art, it's actually just because I think she is a very good voice for performative stuff. It's not just, a narration voice. She's actually very good at kind of the acting component, which is something I wish I was better at. So whether you need her for her voice work or whether you need her for her excellent art, and I actually am particularly fond of her coffee page because her banner is a collection of pretty much all of my favorite art. There's the character in the center who obviously reminds me of her. I am a very big fan of the, I believe, overindulging... I think it's the gecko who's overindulging in LSD. There's a lot of really fun stuff on that page, and she updates it fairly regularly. And again, it's always tricky to ask people to financially support people. But do keep in mind that the Eyes of Sin does this for a living, whether it's through emotes, whether it's through voice acting, or whether it is through the kindness of people who just want to continue to see art like this supported. So if it is within your means, even if you just do the one coffee, the $3 donation, I would tremendously appreciate that because she's been incredibly supportive to me. even at times when I have been rather grumpy or otherwise not really worth the help. And again, I do feel quite bad that I didn't say this a little bit earlier, but I was a little out to lunch on a couple of things from tonight. So anyways, I hope the stream was enjoyable for you all. We are going to be hosting Elegy. So let me try that again. I was originally going to be introducing him as someone that Eyes of Sin moderates for. And obviously we've hosted him before, but I'd love it if you guys would come along. I know I talk a little bit too much at the end and it causes a few people to bleed out. But Elegy is one of these people who does this stuff for a living. And the Eyes of Sin is a moderator and a very valued member of that particular community. And I also know that Elegy just has generally a little bit more energy than I do. So I think most people tend to prefer that sort of stuff. So thank you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for pre-recorded video for Morrowind, assuming I get it recorded. Tonight, Wednesday, we will be back. I'm not 100% sure what I'm playing yet, as well as Friday. And then next week, as always, Monday is Paradox Night. So we'll see you then. Have a lovely evening, and we'll see you next time.